Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into the action-packed Saturday in the MLB. We have a full slate, 15 games coming to you guys live. We'll recap kind of what we did yesterday, as well as kind of talk about the action we have. I will have 3 best bets, and we'll recap those towards the end of the video. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, and if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys all hit that like button, all hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask in return for my free picks of the day. We will kind of have insights and leans along the way as well, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video, and let's get down into the plays, okay? We will use Outlier to break this all down. If you're not using Outlier, a lot of people have signed up. There is a link down below where you can try that 7-day free trial. Check them out. Do not overpay for bets out there, okay? I can't tell you guys and stress enough how important it is to get the best number available. And if you do bet baseball props, it is a very valuable resource in that department as well. Not just baseball, but all sports. So make sure you check it out. 7-day free trial links are down below, okay? But back into it, I want to talk about kind of yesterday a little bit. We had a lot of weird games, right? Friday, historically, it's kind of an off-the-wall day. I think you get a lot of teams traveling in for weekend series. And in that regard, it does kind of sometimes go in your direction, using that to your variance plays, or it can do the opposite. And we saw that a little bit. I think there were some games that really I didn't agree with any of the numbers. And so when we look at my 4 plays, right, the Phillies laid an egg, the San Francisco-Miami game, I think it was 2-1, very, very weird kind of low-scoring game in that contest for both clubs. And also, I was on the side of the Dodgers that did come through, a little rematch of the World Series where we thought we would get exactly what was delivered, and that was a great primetime game on Apple TV Plus that we did look forward to, and I think it did deliver with no other sports going, right? We didn't have any NHL or NBA action, so really was one that we could enjoy, and especially if you were on the side of the Dodgers like me. So Ohtani delivered, the World Series rematch definitely delivered, in my personal opinion, and we get to see it again and on Sunday, so looking forward to that. And also, we did cash a plus 188 money line on the Washington Nationals. So basically a wash, and we'll look forward to this card where I will have 3 best bets. Quite frankly, I don't really love this card. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of numbers that are priced accordingly, a lot of favorites that are a little bit too strong, and it may be a dog day, but I would not be surprised if we saw a little chalk roll as well, some bounce back spots. So we'll get into it as we run the board, and let's do that right now, okay? So the Reds-Cubs, that is the first game we got to talk about. Drew Pomeranz, that lefty for the Cubbies on the bump, taking on Nick Lodolo for the Reds. This is a game where you look at the Cubs minus 160 on the money line. Me personally, I think this is a very strong spot for the Cubs. Also, I do like the side of the Reds in terms of their offense. I think that this is a great divisional game. It's a no play for me, but I do think that when we look at this game in Wrigley, the total set at 7.5. Depending on which way that wind does blow off the lake, will dictate if we get scoring. Potentially, I look for the over 7. That would be my strongest lean in this game, but no official play. Athletics and Blue Jays, right? We do get a interesting matchup here as the Blue Jays roll out a pitcher within Fisher. Not much to go off of when we talk about him, but Hogland, as far as the Athletics go, they have been reeling, okay? And I think that if you were able to pick up that steam a little bit earlier on, this game should be priced about $1.30, $1.35 in my personal opinion. But since the poor performance of the Athletics, that has led us to that minus 160 price we do see on the Blue Jays. It's kind of got bet out of control. Personally, it's Blue Jays or nothing for me. If you want to take them on the run line, plus 135, that's kind of where I would lean in this contest. Outside of that, guys, it's no play on the athletic side as well. And in Toronto, I do look for the Blue Jays to kind of get this game, but I'm not going to lay $1.60. So potentially the Blue Jays to not bat in the 9th would be probably my strongest play. You can find that always on DraftKings, and that would be kind of how I look at approaching that 307 first pitch. Cardinals and Rangers. This will be an official play for me. I lean on the side of the Texas Rangers, okay? And I think that this is something where we might get to buy low on them. And as far as Patrick Corbin goes, he has been a pitcher historically that we have always faded. Going against Sonny Gray, 5-1 on the year, 4.06 ERA. I don't think the story is going to be all told by what we're seeing here on the board. And if you look at this, guys, right now you can find an 8 in the market. And as we talk about the over, the Cardinals have gone over in 6 of their last 10 games. The Rangers have not really hit the baseball too well, going over the total yesterday. But that was all one-sided as the Rangers scored late, a surplus of runs, and as the Cardinals were shut out. I think the Cardinals are struggling to hit the baseball. And as Corey Seager does return for the Rangers, we're going to look at kind of what we're seeing here. But the interesting thing about this, guys, is the fact that Patrick Corbin has been a fade, and today we're going to back him here because I don't like Sonny Gray in this spot. I think that he has really had some poor road versus home splits, and I know his record's 5-1. I know it's 4.06. I know the Rangers won yesterday, but give me the Rangers at home at a plus money price. So I'm going to back them here at plus 130. That will be my official play. I also kind of lean towards the under, but I am not going to bet that. That is kind of where I'm at in the market. So give me the Texas Rangers plus 130 there on the money line as my first official play. White Sox and Orioles. Dean Kramer going against Martin for the Pale Hose as the White Sox come into Camden Yard. And the one thing I want to talk about this game is the White Sox kind of fall into that category where if you do want to kind of talk about the Rockies, you want to talk about what we've seen with the White Sox and a team maybe in line with the Athletics, maybe not, but the White Sox 18-39, so a little bit better. And the interesting thing about them, ATS, they are 32-25 on the year, losing 4 of their last 5. Baltimore's won 3 of their last 5, but one of the poorest ROI teams in all of baseball. But they have kind of played, I guess you would say, glaringly as of late. But I think that the White Sox are a little bit scrappy young bunch. I know from a roster construction standpoint, they're just not there. But I definitely think that the Orioles are failing to hit the baseball. And for my money, if anything, guys, this is a little bit of a lean towards the White Sox here. And I think the odds makers agree with me as we see a very short plus 150 price. White Sox plus 1.5 at minus 135 would be kind of how I would lean in this ball game. Brewers and Phillies. We're going to go up the odds board, talk about this one a little bit above you. And this is where we see the Brewers traveling into the city of brotherly love for that game 2 against Jesus Luzardo. Outstanding lefty there, 5-0 on the year, 2.15 ERA. And this number is exactly where we would have it. Okay, so the Phillies here on a little bit of a zigzag spot going against Patrick, 2-4 on the year. And the Brewers really put on display hitting the baseball yesterday. It was a bad spot, I thought, we got from the Phillies pitcher who hasn't really thrown in 10 days yesterday. And now as the Phillies come off a loss, they're really missing Bryce Harper, looking for his return. But Trey Turner has been impressive. Kyle Schwarber staying hot. This is a very strong lean to the Phillies not to bat in the 9th inning. I'm not going to be faithful enough to play them on the run line minus 1.5 at a plus 118 price, but I definitely lean Phillies to not bat in the 9th. Almost made my card. That's kind of where I look for Phillies on a bounce back spot. Angels and Guardians. We're going to talk about that. The next game on your guys' card. Going down the board a little bit, we will find this game, the Cleveland Guardians minus 178 on the money line, a plus 120 price there on the run line as the Angels really took care of business yesterday. I think that when you talk about kind of what we saw from the Guardians, it was a little bit of a shortcoming, and this is something where they were able to outlast Cleveland 4-1 on the road. But now Kyle Hendricks pitching, one of the worst pitchers in baseball, going against Cade Ciccone, 3.27 ERA. I think this one is a Guardians bounce back spot. Number is priced accordingly, minus 178. But we're going to attack this game in form of the over, okay? I think that the Guardians go over their team total. I would kind of target that as well. I just expect them to put up 4 or 5 runs. We've seen that a little bit. We got some high-scoring games against the Dodgers, some high-scoring games going back into that Detroit series. The one thing about Cleveland, though, is they don't have a consistent lineup, and it does lend towards some goose eggs where they just basically can't score. But I think going against Kyle Hendricks, they get theirs. So give me this total going over the total of 8 at minus 105. That will be my second official play with the Guardians and Angels as I look this game at worst 5-4. Number sets up for an over, so give me the over here in this contest. And if you don't like the over, I probably don't blame you. And I know it's something where you're looking kind of where we've seen when Kyle Hendricks does pitch. It's 30% to the over. Slade Ciccone 0-2 to the over as well. But when these four teams have played head-to-head, the total is basically a 50-50 proposition. We're going to trust in the bad pitching to lend towards the over. And if we look at both of these clubs, they're basically a 50-50 squad, dead on 28, 27 and 1, 26, 26 and 4 to the over throughout this 2025 season. Okay, but we will bet the over 8 in this game. Tarek Skubal going for the Tigers, going against the Royals. Minus 180 is pretty cheap price. They are on the road going against Michael Wacha for the the Royals here. This will be a no play. It's hard to bet against Skubal. If anything, guys, look for the no run first inning. Probably find it minus 150. That's probably how I would approach this game. But outside of that, nothing really glaring for me in that department. If you want to kind of bet in terms of props, I do like me a little bit of. I'll show you guys his price. And this is a player that I have kind of featured a little bit for the Tigers, but Javi Baez, okay, if you want to kind of look at what he's at within props, it's very, very profitable throughout the course of the season. And I do think that if we look into the market here, hits, runs, RBIs, that has not really got it done. He doesn't get as many at-bats because where he bats in the lineup. But I think if you look in towards of runs, I think that he does kind of get his way. I would not be shocked if he was fruitful in this contest. Total bases, I do like that one a little bit more so than anything else at a plus 150 price. Just give me some Javi Baez. That's more of a lean. I just think he will be able to do well against Michael Wacha, but no official play. Just kind of leaning in that direction if we were going to kind of target this. Also, one other thing I will kind of say in this game, this is a hits, runs, RBI. This would be a fade against Kerry Carpenter, under 1.5 at plus 105. If you want to kind of look at this. He has kind of been doing well, but I think that this is a game where I could see this one going under 1.5. So kind of looking at that angle at plus money, but I'm not going to be playing any of these props. Just kind of wanted to share some with you guys in this matchup. Okay. And as far as the other one that I would look at, you want to kind of talk about strikeouts. We'll kind of show you guys what we're doing from a pitcher standpoint. This is always going to be inflated. Skubal has been very impressive. Over 8.5 cashes at plus at a 50% hit rate. So if you do want to take Tarek Skubal over 8.5 Ks, he had 13 last time out against Cleveland. Over 8.5 strikeouts at plus 320. That will be a very strong lean and a bet that I may think about laddering Skubal's props going against the Royals. Pitcher-friendly ballpark, in my opinion. And this is probably one that I will end up betting. I'm not going to give it out as official play, but I think I will ladder Skubal's strikeouts here in backing also the no-run first inning Tigers Royals. I think that's something I am going to end up inevitably playing, but I'm not going to give it out as an official play. Okay, so please keep in mind Skubal's strikeouts, as I think that 6.5 at minus 115 does set up pretty nicely. Laddering that up all the way to 10 Ks, I think that is a very, very good value play as we look at kind of laddering Skubal's props and strikeout props against the Royals. So that's probably going to be a play, and I don't really know how to give that out as an official play, but for tracking purposes. But Skubal ladder, that's going to be something that I'm going to be on for today for sure. Okay. Next one, as we get down the board, I do want to talk about the Rockies and Mets. This is something as we look at the Mets. This is what I was talking about. The Mets come in at a minus $4 price historically, and it's funny that the Mets are minus 400 because the last time and the first time that I really caught wind of this betting trend, this is when Jacob deGrom was in a Mets uniform, and I think they were minus 470 or minus 420, and I think it actually was against the Rockies, if my memory serves me correctly, and that was where the Rockies won the game. So from this price point, it's something where you almost have to lay the Rockies plus 2.5 runs or take them outright on the money line. Kodai Senga for the Mets has been very impressive this season. Santazela for the Rockies, not so much. And yeah, it's basically Mets minus 1.5 or nothing, or you got to be on the side of the Rockies. Just keep that in mind because these very steep money line favorites, the the lifespan of that betting trend over the course of since they've been tracking it, it has been basically profitable if you end up taking that plus $3 or above when you do see a money line favorite minus 400 or greater. It's profitable to go with the dog throughout the course of time, but that will be a no play for me. Okay, Tampa Bay and Astros. We're going to look at Zach Littell going against Gordon here. It's going to be something where we look into this matchup from a standpoint that I think that the Rays kind of got a little outlier yesterday going against Framber Valdez. But I want to talk about that game because it was a 2-1 loss for Tampa Bay. I think that the Tampa Bay Rays have been hitting the baseball exceedingly well, but I don't think that this is a great matchup for Gordon. I think that they're going to be able to shellac him. And I think that Zach Littell has been pitching very strong as of late. They were playing in Houston, so that does give me some pause. But I think that after kind of what we saw yesterday, the bullpen may be a little bit taxed for the Astros. So give me the Rays here at plus money. All right, plus 102 will be my money line price. That will be an official play. So Tampa Bay plus 102 will be an official play. Red Sox and Braves. This is one where it's over or nothing. Walker Buehler going against Swellenbach. It's over or nothing, but I'm not going to make this an official play as well. If you want to kind of talk about yesterday, it was one where we saw a 5-1 victory for Boston. I do think the Braves bounce back. I think the Boston Red Sox stay hot. This game, in my opinion, will go over a double digit, so I would lean towards the over, but no official play in this matchup. Okay. The next one, we talked a little bit about San Francisco and Miami yesterday as we talk about Robbie Ray, 7-0 on the year, 2.56 ERA for that lefty. And as we look at kind of the boys from the Bay, you got to talk about the G-men here, 32-25, an impressive team. I think that they do have the ability to get to Cabrera. This is a minus 148 price that I think isn't too cheap or isn't too long. It's a little bit too cheap, so I would lean, as long as that's under $1.50, would lean towards the Giants in that department, taking them outright on the road on the money line, but no official play. The Twins and Mariners. Now, this is an interesting game because we do have the Seattle Mariners playing at home. It always does lend towards the under. Bailey O'Bear, a very fine candidate for that. 4-1 on the year, 3.41 ERA, going against Miller. And if we look at kind of how these pitchers play for Seattle, they're always going to be better at home. But Bryce Miller has been getting hit a little bit as we look at kind of some of his game logs, and you kind of want to put it together. But last time out, 5 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. He's been getting kind of taxed a little bit, and this is something where Toronto was able to get to him at home. I do think the Twins win this game outright, minus 105, a very short price for the Twins, and that's kind of where I would lean in this game as a lean, not an official play. Then we're going to talk about the game 2 between the Yankees and the Dodgers. Now, this is one where you see the Yankees plus 105 here on the money line. This is where I would look to target them. Okay, Logan Knack for the Los Angeles Dodgers, 5.22 ERA. I think the Yankees bounce back. Personally, I kind of would look into the argument that we could get a over as well, and that's where you can find this total at 9.5. The Dodgers have hit the over in 50%. They have scored 10 runs in 50% of their last 10 games. New York, not so much, only 20% of those last 10, and I would lean towards the over and on the side of the Yankees at plus money, but no official play. Pirates and Padres, a little bit of a scare there as San Diego was able to outlast Pittsburgh. And now we get Dylan Cease going for them. And the Padres at home, it definitely sets up best for them. 3-2 win for the Padres. They were down a little bit in the middle of that game. Bailey Falter, though, 3.47 ERA. We'll see kind of how many pitchers and what kind of moves Pittsburgh looks to do. It's unfortunate they have Paul Skeens, and they can't really build around them. They're kind of handcuffed in that regard. 21-37 on the year. I think the Padres get this one done as well. It's just really expensive, minus 215 on the money line. So if you were going to bet this game, it's going to be Padres team total, Padres minus 1.5, or Padres who not bat in the ninth to go alongside a player prop. That's the only real way that you could get this one in a bettable condition. Outside of that, not going to really get involved on the Pittsburgh side. Can't trust them. I know a lot of people have been kind of favoring them as of recent, as they were able to take 2 of 3 against Arizona, scoring 19 runs in that 3-game series over the course of 2 games. But I just see them kind of laying an egg here in San Diego. So it's Padres or nothing. You just have to find a way to make it a cheaper price if you do want to back the Padres. Okay. Last game, Washington and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Michael Soroka going against Brandon Pfaadt. The last game on the card, as we look at it, this is kind of where it's almost a Diamondbacks bounce back spot if I've ever seen one, and it's just kind of unbettable here at -195. It's kind of either going back to the well, you take the Nationals on the money line, but I do think that we get runs in this game in their last 4 games. Right, we've had essentially with both teams combined in their last 4 games, it's been 7. They've basically been 6-1-1 to the over 9. Okay, so we had 1 push. I think this one goes in double digits as well, and that's kind of where I would lean. My best play in this game would be the over, but I would lean kind of Diamondbacks on a bounce back. But taking them at -195 is not advisable, so it's either going to be run line or not bat in the 9th. But my best play in this game would be either backing Ketel Marte or to have a home run over 1.5 total bases, 1.5 hit runs, RBIs, or you just have to take the Diamondbacks team totals. I think the Diamondbacks prevail in a high scoring affair here late night, 10-10 first pitch on the East Coast. Okay, so little quick recap. We will get down into it, guys. Thank you all for tuning along. As always, I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us here on the Bettor Mark, TBM Sports. We welcome you. Appreciate all my channel members. But the recap for today's plays, we're going to go Cleveland over 8 runs, -105. The Texas Rangers on the money line at +130. The Tampa Bay Rays on the money line +102. And I will ladder Skewball's props in terms of strikeouts all the way up to 9.5. If you want to get a little even daring, you could take that even up to 11.5 if you really wanted to kind of divvy out those units. But it's just a little bit too low. So that's kind of where I'm at. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, like I said. Also, good luck on your picks. Enjoy the NBA action we have a little bit later on. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.